Good day, everybody. My name is Mr. Magic, and I thought today that I was going to show you how to make a simple space scene inside of Cryengine 3. Just as a small primer how to get used to the SDK editor and have a bit fun with the engine itself. So when you download Cryengine SDK, the editor, you usually, once you have installed the software and registered your account and logged in into the application, you get a starting screen, something like this. Or it might be also a small box in the center where you can start a new project or open an old project or read documentation or stuff like that. But basically you get this, and if you in the box in the center click start new project, or if you go up to the left corner at the top and click file and new, you get this small box here. And the reason I wanted to show you a little bit how you can get into making a space scene is that it might not be obvious for new users how to get there, how to get a scene just in the sky that takes place up in the air, because well, we can do it like this. If I name this level, we can name it anything. I will call it space test level. And if we uncheck use terrain and generate terrain texture and click OK, usually what you get when you have downloaded SDK, and we can click OK here, and you start the application for the first time, you get this ocean scene over here. So if you scroll down here, it's a really nice ocean, dynamic. You get all the waves and effects in real time in the window. It's really amazing and beautiful, I think. You can also look under the water and get all these cool effects. But we want to be in space, like in Star Citizen. So to get rid of this ocean, what we have to do is go up to terrain here at the top, click it, and click edit terrain. You will get this terrain editor window. And if we inside of this window go to modify and remove ocean, and after that close this window, we get a sky scene. So now we are up in the air. Pretty awesome if you make mods for ships and flying aircrafts. So, but it still doesn't look like space. It looks like maybe atmosphere on Earth or something. So just to have a bit fun, this is not really a serious demonstration. It's just showing a bit where you can find the stuff to play around with. You go to terrain and time of day, and inside of here, time of day, you have a lot of different options and parameters that you can change, and it's inside of here that we will get our scene. Most probably when you open this window you have this layout, and to the right we have all the parameters, but it's not in the advanced form. This is in the simple form. So what you have to do is go to the center here, and under tasks and time of everyday tasks, you have at the bottom there toggle advanced properties. So you have to click it, and then you get all these different options. And it might look a bit scary at first, but it really isn't. It's really, really easy. So you have like parameters for the sky, for the fog effects, skylight, night sky, cloud shading, and this is Cryengine3 that you're playing around with, and it's really, really beautiful. And the cool thing is when you change these parameters, it updates in real time, so you see right away as you change the values. So that makes it a lot of fun to play around with. So first off, we want to go to fog and the color bottom. And if you can change the values by numbers, but I think it's easier to just double click on this small color box. And here you have a slider to the right, and if you draw it to the bottom, you get this black color. So I take that one. And if you right click outside of this window, you can still scroll a bit up and down. And as you see, we just changed the color at the bottom. So if we want a completely black screen like in space, we also have to go to color top and double click there. And here we can change the slider, and as you see, it updates in real time. And we also have in center here all these curves that you can tweak after we have closed this color box. So I will just go down more to the black here, but I want a little bit of color, like a foggy space scene with gas clouds maybe, or something like that. And see here, I usually also go to the left here under HDR settings, and you can go to the bottom where you have color balance. Let's see what happens if we change this a bit. Move the slider. Yeah, it becomes a bit darker again, which is what I want to do at this time. Press OK again. So now it's getting really, really dark here. And let's see, we also have some stars that we can add to the scene. So if we scroll this parameters scroll bar to the right, and we almost when we are at the middle, we have night sky, and under there we have star intensity. So if we dial up the number, which is currently 0, up to 3, we get stars. It's pretty cool. And if we continue down here, because it's a little bit blurry right now, it's not really good focus. So we can continue down to, let's see, we have brightness, I think, or was it? No, it's depth of field. Yeah, depth of field. So almost at the bottom of the parameter list, we have depth of field, and you can check blur amount here. And for this I use the curves. I think the curves is pretty easy to tweak. So I really don't know which one I should push, but I think it's this one to the right. Let's see if something happens. New, maybe this one. I know it's someone. Yeah, this one in the center. So if we leave it by that and close this window, we have a much better focus right now, and it looks a bit more like space. So this is basically how you can get started, at least, to create a space scene inside of Cryengine3. And maybe you can use it if you know how to import your ships into the editor, you can use it as a background or start setting up your ship and the controls and start flying around inside of here. And there is also, of course, much more parameters you can tweak to get even more cool effects. It's dynamic and it's really good looking. And there are also more advanced tutorials on the internet to get even more cool effects. So this is just a small primer, and I hoped it helped to get you started and a little bit familiarized with the Cryengine3 SDK, and to just play around and have a bit fun with it. So thank you very much for listening, and I see you on the forums.